I paid a professional graphic designer $10 on Fiverr to completely redesign my logo. I'll put my old logo somewhere on screen, maybe right here, to block out the horrible glare that's on the TV behind me. But what you can see from this logo is that it's not professional. It's something that I created myself, admittedly with the help of some crappy esports logo app that I found on the Google Play Store, and it's blurry, there's hard edges that shouldn't be visible, the font doesn't match the image, and overall the quality of it looks like something that somebody with no experience made. Now, it's not that I don't have experience. I actually took a year of graphic design in college, as well as just usually messing around with programs like Photoshop and GIMP just in my free time because I enjoy it. But my new logo, the one that I got, and you'll see that later on in this video, is so much more than I could ever do myself. So let's get into my actual experience with Fiverr, what I did, how I found the artist that I went with, just the overall what happened in the process of me getting this new logo. Let's go ahead and cut over to my computer so I can show you everything that's going on. Alright, so coming over here on the computer, this is the package that I decided to buy. You can see it is from, and I apologize if I butcher the name here, Aris Munadar 185 on Fiverr, and I went with his basic package here. You can see it's $10, and what I received was the basic mascot logo with simple concept and 2 colors. Only get PNG and JPEG files. It is a 4-day delivery with 3 revisions, and what you're getting in this package is 1 initial concept included, the logo transparency, as well as it being high resolution. Now, I admittedly didn't read this when I initially purchased it. I didn't realize that there were 2 colors, and that is my fault. But I have to give it to this guy. He went above and beyond. I didn't read it. He didn't know that I didn't read it. I requested more than 2 colors, and he delivered. He didn't ask for any sort of additional money, or he didn't even point out the fact that it was more than 2 colors. He just happily did what I asked. So let's come over here, and you can see it's kind of separated into 4 different categories. How much color you want for your logo, the name of your logo, what character you want, like an animal, a person, etc., and then an example or a design that you like. So let's quickly go over what I gave him. I gave him that I would like the color scheme to mostly match the example that I've attached in step 4, a red shirt with skin tone on the person, brown hair because that's what personally matches my own, even though my original logo had black hair, so I put that black hair was acceptable if easier. A yellow glow / aura around the logo, and I want it similar to the one that I'm using for my channel. It just needs to be updated and polished to look more clean. The name of my logo, I did Super Insane. Technically my channel is Super Insane 18, but I do actually have the Super Insane YouTube channel that I started years ago. I never did anything with, and when I made this one just decided to start over. So there shouldn't be any issue with me using that as my name, considering I have the other channel, but I just wanted to go with Super Insane. I wasn't really sold with the font that I had, so I left that up to his creative design, and honestly I love what he did. Moving on to step 3, I pretty much just described the person that I have in my logo, his mouth open and yelling, similar to what I have attached, wearing the red shirt with his arms outstretched, and just telling him that I want it more stylized, polished, and professional. And you can see that I attached my Super Insane logo here. Now let's talk about the delivery. So thankfully you're not going to be able to see the photos here because I want to leave that as a surprise. Let's actually come here and do orders because I think it shows everything. Yeah, okay. Little spoiler there. It looks like you can see it on this page. I might blur that out. So you can see here that he delivered on my order. And actually, let's not blur it out here. It wasn't showing it to me earlier, so I figured I would have to hold it for later. But with it being here, it's actually a little better. So you can see he sent me a message late last night. It says, "Hello mate, here's your delivery. If you need something, please let me know. have a night day. Now, it does say that he's based in Indonesia, so there's a little bit of a language barrier, which I will chalk up to the reason why some of the revisions didn't go as planned, but we'll get into that later. So you can see here that he gave me two images, a profile picture type image as well as the high resolution transparency. That way I can use that on any sort of videos or overlays that I might need it. So let's take a look at it. And right off the bat, I loved it. It is so much better than anything that I would have been able to do. I spent way too much time in GIMP trying to increase the resolution of the image that I had, smooth out all of the blurriness, and make it look sharper, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do it. So right away, my first impression is wow. This is just leaps and bounds better than what I could personally do. And if we take a look at the transparency, some of it doesn't match what I asked for, but I can't complain because he delivered much more than what I could have asked. There's more than two colors on this image, despite that I paid for a 2-color package. So the fact that I got a red aura instead of a yellow aura, I'm not going to complain. I actually think that I like the red better. Now, obviously my username is a play on words for Dragon Ball Z. And he knew this. He went and he added in this lightning around my aura that I didn't even think to add in there. He took his own artistic design and created something that I couldn't be happier about. Now, that being said, there is something about this image that just didn't sit right with me. And that's to be expected. It's the first draft of something that I purchased that allows for multiple revisions. I really couldn't decide what it was that was throwing me off. So I asked my roommate, actually, my best friend, to come in here and take a look. And while we were looking at it, I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the eyes. The fact that the letter I has this weird cross on it. There's that old saying, whatever you want to call it, where you dot your I's and cross your T's, and the fact that my I's were crossed didn't sit well with me. So I asked him if he could do that. If he could, get rid of those crosses. Now, before I sent the revision, my friend also pointed out that the neck was a little thicker than it should be, comparing it to Kronk from An Emperor's New Groove, which gave us both a really good laugh. But I agreed. Looking at it, I said, you're right, the neck is definitely too thick. If we could thin that down and change the eyes, then it will probably be perfect. So I came over here with my revision request, and I said, thank you so much for recreating my logo. It's definitely incredibly close to what I was looking for, and for the most part, I love it. Hopefully my small revisions don't cause you too much trouble. If possible, I'm really only looking to change the following two things. I would like the crosses on the eyes to be removed in the Insane part of the logo, leaving just a straight letter in its place. And I would like if you could possibly make the neck just a tiny bit thinner. Nothing drastic, just something that makes it look a little less bulky. I appreciate it in advance, and keep up the fantastic work. Now, he actually delivered it as just a normal message instead of a revision, which was really amazing on his part, because that means that if there was something that I wanted to change, I didn't have to waste one of my revisions for it. So he sent me this new one, and this is where I think the language barrier comes into play. So you can see here that this I in particular is still crossed, which I asked him to remove, and it looks like the IN was just removed entirely, so it just says Super Saiyan. You can kind of see maybe a little bit of an I here if you want to count that white space as an I, but it's not what I asked for. Now, on this one, he did do fantastic with the neck. He thinned it out, made it look a little less like Kronk, and, it looks amazing. We went if we, do a quick side-by-side, we went from crunk to hunk.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
So with those changes, I messaged him back and I said, again, super close. I love what you did with the neck and want that in the final design, but the text still leaves a little to be desired. Obviously, I'm no professional, but I've attached a rough mock-up for what I was thinking. I prefer the original text layout to the new one. My only issue was with the eyes, which I changed here. If you can use the newer neck with the original text and updated eyes, it should be perfect. Note, if you edit the eyes the way I did, the aura/outline around it would need to be straightened out as well. And you'll see that here when I show you what I sent. So I just kind of opened it up in GIMP and quickly removed those crosses. I didn't do a great job. It was just a quick, here's what I want. You can see, it's not exactly flush. And what I was talking about with the aura is that it kind of juts out here where the original cross on the eye went. So I asked if he could update that, and if so, great, my design is done and it's perfect. So if we come back and we look, he says, like this again, and he sends me the new updated logo. And this one is the one that I'm going with. Just a little bit of a spoiler for you guys. This one is as perfect as I could ask for. Obviously, I only gave the guy $10. I didn't want him to break his back over creating my logo. There's a couple of nitpicks that I have. Obviously, here you can see that the line still is a little messed up from where the eye jutted out, but nobody's going to notice that if I didn't point it out. You can see here over on the I in Insane, between the A and the Y, that it still has this little piece of black jutting out, which if we looked, I actually corrected in mine to make it look more straight and smooth. Honestly, that's not a deal breaker with me. Looking at this logo, I told him that I loved it. The only thing that I had left was that for some reason, instead of just correcting the aura, he removed it entirely. So if we come back here, I said absolutely perfect. However, it looks like you removed the red glow outlining the whole image. If you could please add that back, I will 100% accept the design. Thanks. To which he again said no problem and sent me the final design. And here's what we have. Looks like it's taking some time to load, but there we go. This is the transparency, which is why the background is black. You can see he re-added the glow. The eyes are fixed. And I'm kind of at a loss for words, because this is just so much more than not only could I have done, but so much more than what I paid for. If we go back over here, you can see this package is for a basic mascot logo with simple concept and 2 colors. And right off the bat, if you want to count white as a color, we've got white, we've got black, we've got skin color, and the skin tone is actually 3 separate colors because of the shading. You can see, we've got the neck outline, we've got the face shading, and the chin, and the arms, so that's 3 different colors on its own, but just for simplicity's sake, let's call it 1. Then we've got the red, and this, while it's technically red here, like we've got multiple different shades of red, and that's at the very minimalist. If we're counting colors, not shades, we have 4 colors on an image. We paid $10 for 2 colors. He doubled what I paid for with no hassle, no questioning, he didn't, like I said earlier, he didn't even point out that I only bought 2 colors. And to me, that is phenomenal customer service. That is just above and beyond, and I could not have asked for anything better. And so there you have it, my new logo, professionally designed and everything that I could have asked for. Now, this is something that's very important to me, because the reason I put off creating YouTube videos for so long was because I was not pleased with the quality of my content. The quality isn't supposed to be good from the start. That's like the one thing that if you watch any other person talking about when they started creating videos, that you shouldn't worry about, that you don't need to worry about the quality, that you just need to press record and go. And the quality will come with time. As you grow, as you're able to monetize, you'll be able to invest more money and be able to grow the quality of the content that you have. But I wasn't happy with what I had. I didn't feel like it was good enough to put out into the world. So this was something that I knew I wanted to do, but was very hard for me to do. Now, I don't intend for this to be any sort of sob story or any sort of pity party, but as of about a month ago, I lost my job. It was a company that I spent 3 years of my life working for, and they just kind of threw me away for a very stupid reason. And it was devastating. It really broke me down. And thankfully, I'm in a position financially, thanks to my lovely fiance, just a little bit of a shout out to her, where we can still afford all of our bills without needing to work. And even though we're in that position, it was so difficult for me to take $10 of what I personally had left, what was my last paycheck that I've been trying to hold on to for this last month, as a backup in case something happened where we needed extra money, or something happened with her where we couldn't pay our bills any longer. So I had to make that hard decision, and it took a lot of talking back and forth with her to decide that it was okay for me to take even just $10 and spend that on a new logo. And honestly, with this logo being updated, I'm so much happier just having a nice looking logo to signify my brand, who I am, what I want. And now, again, thanks to my lovely fiance, I can make YouTube my full-time job. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you can support me doing that. And now here we are. I have a logo that I'm happy with. I'm able to add that to the content that I am making, and overall is just going to increase that quality that I'm looking for. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited to see what I can now bring to this channel, now that I am just even the tiniest bit happier with the content that I am able to provide. So again, please hit that like button, subscribe, show your friends, your family, anybody who's interested in what I am doing. Bringing, right now I've only got Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon content, but I'm going to bring so much more games. I'm planning on doing a Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask playthrough, a new game called Craftopia that me and my fiance have been really enjoying, maybe some PlayStation games, PlayStation 4, who knows, the sky's the limit. I'm going to do my best to bring quality content that anybody who enjoys any type of game can enjoy. So, thank you all for watching, and have an awesome day.